Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back to the news. You see, on several occasions, Obasanjo, the former Nigerian president, has always insisted that Obi is way more better than other candidates. Obi is way more preferable. In fact, Obi was his preferred presidential candidate for the 2023 presidential elections. He has always defended his choice of Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate, making it known that Obi was his preferred candidate for presidency. On few occasions, appealed to Nigerians to support Obi's presidential ambition. But at this very point, Obasanjo belittled President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration by saying that the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, is the only man who can lead Nigeria into a better future. Our reports say that Obasanjo's pronouncement might not sit comfortably with Tinubu, who had defeated Obi at the Presidential Election Petition Court, even at the Supreme Court, following petitions against his election. And then in a recent interview, Obasanjo questioned Tinubu's search for an alternative funding of the economy, while submitting that those who came into power these days think about the next election and not the next generation. Meanwhile, Mr. Peter Obi's Labour Party had rejected the judgment of the Supreme Court affirming the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But then, Obasanjo has always emphasized on Peter Obi's candidacy, talking about the leadership pattern in this country and what has led to the underdevelopment of this country ever since he left this country into the hands of his predecessors. He has been insisting that the way the leadership pattern, the leadership style, is not what he had expected, and sees Obi as the ideal man for this country, insisting Obi is the best. Obi is the ideal person for Nigeria at this moment. That all hope is not really lost. But then, we all know that Peter Obi came third at the elections. He challenged the outcome of the elections at the tribunal, and he lost out. But then, Obasanjo is still insisting that it doesn't matter. He was sure, deep in his heart, that Obi, even till tomorrow, is still the right man for the job. Obi, according to Obasanjo, remains the right person to achieve the Nigeria we need. Obi is the person that would push this country forward. This is coming from a former Nigerian president that has really shown his support for Peter Obi and why he preferred him as the person that will move this country forward. Obasanjo had been given several warnings talking about Nigerians voting for unpatriotic people, that they should mind who they vote for. They should do the right thing. But then, has always hold Obi in high esteem, in high character, and that is just it, my country people. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? I know many would say that Obasanjo is just not playing fair. I mean, he has ruled in his own time and has handed over, so he shouldn't mingle in the affairs of this nation. But then Obasanjo is also like an elder statesman. He is an elder statesman. But then, during his own reign, during his own regime, Obasanjo did a lot that even up till now, Nigerians are still holding grudges against him for things he did in the past that were not favorable to the masses, to the people, and they all condemned it. But then, that was all in the past. And we see that nowadays, most of our leaders, majority of them, most especially the ones that have completed their tenures, they tend to come back and say, oh, this is not the way, this is it, this is that. But then, during their own regime, during their own tenure, they did far worse. They did far worse than, all these things. In fact, if you look at it, it seemed that all these things started from them. It started from them, and then it continued. And that is just the cycle. So we actually need somebody that will break this cycle. We don't have to keep blaming the government, blaming this one, pinning, blames on this administration. Then, after the end of this administration's tenure, the next administration, the past would pin the blame on the current administration. We have to move far more than those talks and focus on how we will push this country forward. That is what we need to do in this country. So, my country people, what are your thoughts on Obasanjo's, statement about Peter Obi being the right person that would move this country to its past glory? I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section.
Society, you ignore your people, you ignore the society. And what do we say today in Nigeria? More than 60% of our population are below the age of 25 or 25 and under, something like that. Now, what are you going to do about them? What are you going to do for them? When, of course, those who come to power, all they think about is the next election, not the next generation. And for as long as we are not thinking of the next generation, we are destroying their future.
Right. That's why that's important to you.
It is very important to me. It is very important to me.
Part of the fire from that letter was, I mean, you mentioned Alpha Beta with our new president. You were very...
Well,
I'm not going to talk about it.
Yes, it's because you said he then went to look for alternative funding.
Yes.
So alternative funding for whom? For the state or for himself? Or for the state and himself?
Why was Peter Obi so important to you? You know, you stood...
It's not Peter Obi that is important to me. It's Nigeria. You see, that's the type of thing that you people do and say that annoys me.
Okay.
Okay. Peter Obi is not the issue.
Okay.
Nigeria to me is the issue. Okay. So, when you say Peter Obi is Peter Obi, Nigeria.
So it was because of Nigeria that you thought this was the man?
Yes.
Right.
For Nigeria that I believe we need to have at this point in time, Peter Obi is
still the man.
That's all.